Okay, okay, okay. Welcome. Phew. A bit of adjustments here and there. Back in the mix. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Back to the LNR MSA Season 2 Championship. Watkins Glen. Now that's going to be quite interesting. So the boys are currently on the track, just running a few warm-up laps. While I am at this, I am just going to go and do a bit of sponsored information, and then of course a more racing date information and so forth for everyone, just to give you a heads up and make sure everything's all hunky-dory. There we go, back in the business again. This is qualifying session, 15 minutes of fun and action. So again, for those who just joined us, this is LNR Season 2 MSA Cup Championship, and today we are at Watkins Glen, a American side track, which I believe is actually quite a fun track to drive with. What we've just been through and checked out is our next racing dates and calendar events. So of course we've already sorted out race 1, which was last week, and again that was action packed at the Red Bull Ring. Just to give you a heads up on what happened if you did not watch the live stream or didn't go back and actually watch the stream. Race winner last week was Sean Stradom, who we currently watching at the moment, doing his half lap. He was heavily chased down by the Porsche SE Esterhazen, who hunted him down throughout the race. Now Esterhazen is currently in the pit, and then of course Hannes Grelen came in 3rd position. I'm gonna go find Grelen. If I can see him here today. I can't see the man on track. He doesn't seem to be in. But then again, Boyce is also there, so Boyce in the mix. Ooh, something has gone horribly wrong. That was odd and weird. I am kind of glitched there at the moment. There we go. Back into it again. So I was talking about Boyce being in 4th position. He's running there with the BMW before we had a little glitch in between. I can't even explain what actually happened. For some strange reason, everything just went blank on my screen. But now we're back in business. So that was last week's race. Top 4 boys was Stradom, Esterhazen, followed by Grelen, and then of course Boyson finished up in 4th position. Today we are at Watkins, Glen. Track degrees is about 36. That is excessively hot. Everyone's doing their, well, most cars have already finished their outlap, and I'm hoping to see a bit of time on the scoreboard. Let's see who brings it out first. Couple of blue flags here and there. This is the final corner for Sean Stradom, so let's just see where he punts it up if he has no issue. Farmer puts up penultimate, Stradom has not, so Farmer is the man that has put up a lap time of 1:45.6. Chris Wall there not far after, beaten by Norkia with a 1:44.6, also in the BMW. Can't recall seeing this man up in the mix last week, so new into the championship. He's got 3 races to try and make it up. Our objective here is, of course, to crown a MSA champion for this series at Logistical Nightmare Racing. Vessels, on the other hand, half a second off Norkia, so benchmark has been set by Norkia in car 28. Vessels pushing very hard to see if he can improve on his lap time. Now, of course, these boys only did one so far, 15 minutes of qualifying in general, and I reckon the session is going to change quite rapidly. So again, a lot of individuals making good times at the moment. Robotham in the Porsche again. It was one of my sexiest liveries that I saw the last time. It is definitely the Rothmans livery. Love it. Still my favorite. Was my favorite last week. Still my favorite this week. But apparently I'm going to see a lot better liveries this week. Hopefully I have done the proper download and I've got all the files and everything up and running. So, new top of the chart here. Stradom 1:44.5. Puts at a banger there. Beaten immediately by Norkia. This is seemingly the battle. Oh, and Vessels brings it out as well. 1:44.3. So I have to admit, the battle is definitely on for pole position today. Every single time someone puts it on the banger, on the top spot, they get immediately beaten. Stradom, on the other hand, he is up by 2 tenths, 3 tenths at the moment. Does look like he's got a bit of traffic there ahead of him. Now, he's probably hoping that he can get around that car ahead of him. And who is that, by the way? It looks like a Ferrari. I don't think it's Donaldson. Not Heineke. Is it Farmer? Yes. So that's Farmer ahead of Stradom, which has probably slowed Stradom down a little bit. And he needs to do something to get past that man. Mr. Sky at the moment, he's up by half a second, all the way down into 14th position. That will get him to jump a couple of positions, but not quick enough to get into that top 10. I reckon he will certainly get into bounce up by 1. That is for sure. Paul Fenter, on the other hand, is also up by a few tenths of a second. Doing wonderfully well up there. Vessels, on the other hand, improved on his initial lap time with a 1:44.1 at this moment. He is now 3 tenths ahead of Norkia. Stradom, half a second above Donaldson, who's now in the pit. And then, of course, Boyson, Ferrara, Heineke, within that 1 second margin, top 7 at the moment. That is battling it out for pole position. Peterson in the Nissan, however, he was phenomenal last week. at Red Bull Ring with his Nissan. I still feel he gave it away when he went into the pit and changed his tires for reasons unknown to me. That definitely cost him last week. I hope he is coming back with his A game this week. From the configuration or the race situation today, I mean, we've got 15 minutes of qualifying, and then we're going to have a 60-minute race. Now, of course, there is just over 6 minutes left for a qualifying session. Today there is no requirements on tires. However, a pit stop is definitely needed, and in this instance no mandatory tire change. So the boys have to do exactly the same as what they did last week at Red Bull Ring. This time around at Watkins, Glen, get into the pit box. Stumbling with words. Get into the pit box, pop up the car, put in a bit of fuel, and then pop out. Those boys that's going to do tire changes are going to suffer dramatically. Those individuals that's going to wear out their tires at the beginning of the race, they will certainly suffer at the end. And those that will manage their tires throughout the race will at least, hopefully, pull out on top. From a streaming point of view, let's just check. Sarko on, Dylan on, Paul Venter on, Niku high. So there are Sarku cars, Ruan. Let's just see. You gotta give me a bit of more than. So everyone on the chat, give me more than what you have at this moment. I can try and follow everyone much as I can. Denoon is in there. Kia, Donaldson. Oh, that's a beautiful livery. So I'm gonna just flag it around. You guys, if there's anyone specifically on the stream that you want to give a shout out to, or just give me a heads up on who you are following, I'll try and check them out as much as I can, and give them some screen time. I mean, we're all here for some beautiful screen time at the present moment. These boys are doing fantastic effort throughout the days, practicing, making sure they have all the right setups done for this race. Just over 4 minutes to go, and I gotta admit, the top 5 at this stage has not really moved on their time limits. We still have Vessels followed by Norkia straight on. Fenter managed to bang in there in 4th position. We are currently looking at Donaldson. He is prepping for his outlap, and he's gonna pull the trigger now to hopefully set his benchmark up. We will keep an eye on as he goes along. Peterson on the other end in the Nissan is up by 4/10 at the moment. Now if that's the case, that is definitely going to bring him into the top 5. He just got to keep the momentum going in the final corners, and this is where it gets tricky, because you don't want to lose too much momentum in the final 2 corners. That long left-hander followed by an immediate right-hander onto the start finish. Does seem like he has managed to keep momentum, and he put it up there. Oh, Peterson back into 2nd place with his Nissan. I reckon that is a fantastic drive by him, who had to avoid there for a couple of collisions ahead of him. So Peter has bounced back 100%, put his name up, front row grid position for him presently. Again, still 2 minutes of qualifying sessions up and running. Dave Young, Ubar, hasn't set the time yet, so they have chosen to stay out of it a bit longer. Boyson also improved, so that switches it up quite a bit. Top 5 definitely fighting it out. It does look like front row engines is the way to go today. Some of the mid-rear cars are seriously struggling. Esterhazy, fan favorite last week. He, on the other hand, is currently sitting in 9th position, struggling to get it through. Now again, this is going to be challenging for those cars that do not have the top end. Red Bull Ring presented that last week. No top end speed for the long straight will make you suffer. Now you might gain a bit of time through the corners, but you need that fast speed coming down the straight. Vessels, on the other hand, is a man on the move at the moment. He is up by 2/10. Now if he holds this together, it's going to bring him into the 143s. Beautiful line coming out there in the final corner. Puts it down, 143.9. I reckon that is a time to beat, and it's going to be very hard for anyone to bounce him out of pole position. That Ford is quick. Peterson trying to make waves, but still not there at the moment. Boyser is out, but cannot do much, and he's going to give another go at it. Norkia is relaxing at this stage, so he's trying to set himself up for one more final push. Stradom, however, has sat back in the pit stop. Reckon 5th position is where he's happier. Paul Painter not doing much. Oh, Norkia is giving that up as well. So this to me looks like top 3 at the present moment is Vessels, Peterson and Boyson. Final few seconds going in and about. Wall, on the other end, bit of improvement on his end. Heineke. Okay, Heineke, Sarko livery. How does that look? He's in the pits at the moment, but I'll keep an eye on him. Thanks, Mr. Dillon. Chris Wall up by 4/10. Final 2 corners for him. Does look like he will definitely improve on his time. Where does he finish up? Oh, 11th spot. Did not manage to get into the top. Boyser coming into the pits. Heineke, oh sorry, Vessels going into the pits. Boyser finishing it up. Still giving it the last push to try and outscore Peterson. Now he wants that front grid open position. Doesn't want to sit behind Vessels when they start the race. He has improved on his time though. I don't know whether he's got enough to get into the 2nd place. No, he still remains at 3rd. So currently where we sit, timetables for everyone. Vessels is pole sitter this evening, followed by Peterson, Boyson, Norkia, Stradom, Paul Venter, Donaldson, Heineke, Esterhazy in 9th, and then Ferrara closing off the top 10. BOPs is up everywhere. Kind of looks like the Aston Martin's got lots of kilograms in weight onto it. But that is where we are at the present moment. We'll be right back. Just don't go away. Welcome back. Everyone's ready. Start engines are ready. Round 2 at Watkins, Glen, ready to kick off. As you can see, these boys are going to do a short grid start, which means no warm-up for them. And going to be excessively tight everywhere around as they go side by side, entering the start-finish line. Hopefully
green light, go, go, go.
we've got the green. Everyone getting down the straight. It does look like that Nissan had a wonderful start though. Quick off the bench, Peterson takes the lead, immediately gets Vessels behind him, and it looks like he's even opened up the gap between himself and Vessels. Did Vessels sleep there for a moment, because that Nissan is off in the wonder. Oyster in third, Nokia fourth, straight on fifth. As everyone comes through the chicane, the S's, this is where it can get dangerous. Donaldson there looking very aggressive in the early stages of the race. He has immediately set himself up to challenge for position there by Paul Fenter, who then of course is chased down by Esterhazen. Esterhazen did make up one position. Palmer on the other hand made up 3 positions from the start. Anything from a race control point of view, couple of contacts here and there with car 9, 24, 26, 28. I hope it wasn't anything very serious, but Peterson has definitely pulled away from the gap. Now someone has asked me to go and have a look at Heineke. That is Heineke. Hopefully that is the new Sargo Lovely. Holy crap, it looks amazing. Well done to the boys who has designed that. A bit of side-by-side action there by Cordier and Carter. Carter giving it up, opening it up for Cordier. Cordier has taken that position from 16th place. He's going to go and hunt down Heineke, who we went and had a quick look and spot check 2. Vessels on the other hand is moving forward. Norkia being chased down by Stradom. Now these two boys have known to battle it on the track. Donaldson on the other hand is making the move on the inside line, but he's also got Esterhazen. Is this going to be a 3-wide scenario? No. Ooh, that was so close. How did they manage to pull that off? Both Donaldson and Esterhazen passing Paul Venter as Paul Venter continues to drop backwards. He has not had the best start at the moment. 2 positions lost already. Esterhazen as well as Donaldson making their way up the grid. Farmer on the other hand, now the next man who's keen to getting past that Aston Martin. Big battles here in the mid-pack this evening. Well, today. Just quite surprising. Kind of loving the fact that there's at least battles everywhere. Now, of course, we're only in the first couple of minutes of the race, so anything can still change.
The pit is now open.
Pit lane has opened up. That Aston Martin is still struggling. Whether that is tire temperature related or just pure pressure, but it just doesn't seem like Paul Venter had a great start. As they're heading to another lap up the long straight. Palmer getting very, very close to the Aston Martin. I reckon this is a position. Paul Fenter goes defensive. Is he going to keep a defensive line? Farmer looks on the inside line, goes on a dirty track. Is he going to make a move there? No. He yields a bit, not alongside him. Very clever though. This is a long race. Plenty of things can happen. Wall in the other Aston Martin, he's also being chased down by R-funded Heifert and Heineke. Heineke looking very aggressive, finding potential means to gain a position. Looks on the inside, takes the gap. Beautiful move. That also compromises Van der Heifert because now Denoon is going to make a move on him. Also on the inside, side by side, two actions by the Porsches. Does Denoon brake late? No. They do drive very respectful though. Van der Heifert going a bit defensive at that stage again. Ooh, and deep into the corner. Aston Martin wall there had a little bit of contact information that opened up again. So Heineke making up one more position. He is climbing the ladder. Wall going in the birds. Definitely had a bit of contact between him and the wall or something. Just see if I can not find anything. So nothing too serious. Straight on in your gear, getting closer and closer to one another. This is definitely going to be a long race. Esterhazy, ooh. Now there was a bit of contact there. I did see that. Certainly going to go back and have a look and see what has happened there between Paul Fenter and that Ferrari lost control as he went out of the corner. Paul Fenter had nowhere to go but straight. Then made contact with the driver. That definitely looked accidental. Donaldson all the way at the back now. Now he definitely has a bit of damage. I reckon also frustration setting in with him. And again, what has happened? Again, apologies for that, but for some weird reason that should not have happened. Something seems to be very technically wrong here today. Okay, so back into the race. I think I have lost Sean Stradham. Sean Stradham's in the pits though. Don't know why he decided to go in now, but he has made the judgment to go in. I got a bit sidetracked based on what has happened on my screen. So top 10 at the moment. Heineke has climbed the ladder. He's the man that I've been watching now because Sarko has mentioned him, and I reckon he's actually having a fantastic race. From his qualifying position, he has dropped a little bit and making up on time, but he's also the man making all the moves. So full speed as he goes to the after, puts it on the inside, takes the position. He's now back up to 9th spot, and now he's going to go and chase down Pretorius. Not far behind him, Van der Heifert, Denoon and Donaldson battling it out. Now Donaldson, of course, the man that was involved with the contact with the Aston Martin. Again, that looked very accidental. A bit of wobbling coming out of that basis. Donaldson takes the inside line. Makes the move on Denoon. Gains one more position. He seemingly is happy we're moving forward. Paul Fenter and Farmer still fighting it out as we stand. Dylan shouting, "Go Farmer!" Hannes van der Sant, he lost it in the last corner. I think he has damage. Ooh. Now who's that? Who's that? Someone lost it in the last corner. Okay, so someone made a mistake in the last corner. Probably has damage. Let's just see. But boy, I know straight on went into the pits. I don't see Stradom anymore. The Stradom's gone off my radar. Something happened to him. He went into the pit stop, probably retired his car. Like Sky, the man getting 15 seconds penalty. Wonder how that has occurred. Okay, so back into the race. Peterson and Vessels, however, there was a bit of a gap between these two, more than about a second. So Vessels has managed to pull back a little bit of that gap between them. I'll keep an eye on them as they progress throughout the race. But these two are the ones to watch. Now I'm hoping this time around Peterson will not make the mistake and put new tires on. Hopefully manage to maintain his tires throughout the race, because I reckon he just gave away a potential victory last week, or even a top 3 finish, just because he went into the pits at Red Bull Ring, changed his tires, and then came out in the middle of the pack of nowhere. Vessels, on the other hand, also charging it through. He was also one of the potentials to take a victory at Nürburgring, and he fell down the platter a little bit. Boyson running very smooth in 3rd position, so is Norkia in 4th. Esterhazy has made up a lot of positions from his initial grid start. Now he's gone up 4 positions. He's in a comfortable situation, trying to chase down the BMW ahead of him. Paul Fenter and Farmer, on the other hand, are the two battling it out in the top 10 position. They are probably the closest in the top 10, apart from Vessels. Of course, I gotta keep an eye on that. Road Bothorn, on the other hand, my fine and dandy Rothmans Porsche, he's been hunted down by Ferreira in the Ford. Ooh, very late break there by the Ford. It's a bit unusual to see, considering that the Porsche would probably have the more superior braking points as opposed to that Ford. That Ford is just very, very heavy. Lots of grunt and speed, but I don't think it would have the outbrake performance of the Porsche. Back to the race lead as we see how this progresses between Vessels and Peterson. Now, of course, Vessels is seemingly a very relaxed individual that wants to capitalize when he can. Therefore, he can sit behind a driver for quite amount of time before making the move. And I reckon he's going to just stay in that peripheral vision of the Nissan, making him aware that he is still there. And if he makes any mistake, he is going to pounce on him immediately. Grab whatever opportunity there is. So, me, Mr. Stradom. So Stradom did cause some damage probably, and hence he went out. That is very unfortunate though. Stradom currently the championship leader. He's going to lose a lot of points today, not being in a position to finish. I reckon if he can probably just come back and gain a couple of points. As mentioned, everyone here gets positions and points, so it's best to just come and try and finish. Now, of course, there are instances that you can, so it's potentially a heavy mechanical damage for the drivers and won't be able to return back. But all we can do is hope. Farmer, on the other hand, still very close to the Aston Martin. Paul Fenter giving his absolute best to try and keep that Ferrari behind him. Now this has been going on for probably since the start of the race. Paul Fenter started off way more forward than what he did qualifying. In 6th position. Farmer on the other hand, 5 positions behind him. He has made up a lot of time and position and places, and he just seemingly cannot find a gap. Paul Fenter being fully focused, then of course anything can happen. See how they go. Will Farmer make a move? Yeah, he looks on the inside, opens the gap. Is he going to break late? Great move there by Farmer. Paul Fenter cannot defend that. All he has to do is yield, fall behind the Ferrari. One more position gained by Farmer. This is a chance for Paul Fenter to probably take it back, but he has seemingly lost a bit of time. So well done there to Farmer making that move. Here another battle going on. Donaldson versus De Jager, side by side through the straight. De Jager will most likely yield, allow Donaldson to go through. So Donaldson into 10th position. Still has a lot of spaces to make up. That slight incident between himself and Paul Fenter has cost him a bit, but he is climbing the ladder going forward. More battles at the back of the pack. We have Theron. He's being hunted down by Young in an Aston Martin, driving the white LNR livery. Theron from the Zodi ACT. I have no idea where that is, but it sounds like a great team name. Ooh, that was a late break there by Young. Or what they would call probably an early break by Theron. A very technical track for this Watkins Glen, but in fairness it allows you to use a lot of speed in the first section, and then it requires a bit of technicality throughout the second section, followed by finesse in the final sector. It just gives you that whole balance of you need to get it right, but you need to maintain the momentum throughout all the corners, which is very, very hard, because often what you do is you tend to brake too much or too heavy. Couple of penalties coming out. So Sky got a 15-second penalty. Ferrari on the other hand also a 5-second penalty. Now that might be for contact made during the race. From the race control point of view, not a lot of incidents has occurred though. It has been damningly very quiet, which is good. So but nothing really severe on the radar. Vessels, on the other hand, is the man that has set the fastest lap of a 1:44.3. Again, this is a big battle between himself and Peterson. Seemingly it does look like Vessels is about 2/10 quicker than what Peterson is. Good fight here, great momentum. At half a second, it makes it very hard for anyone to actually make a move. Vessels does get closer through the straight, but then that Nissan just somehow breaks away from him and just keeps the Ford wondering. I absolutely love it that a Nissan of its generation is doing so well. This used to be my favorite car when I raced many years ago, and unfortunately it just went completely off the radar because no one enjoyed it. Fantastic to drive, great on the straights, very hard on the corners because it is excessively slow. But once you keep and maintain that momentum, it can actually do a bit of damage. So as the two front leaders are catching up with the backpack, so we've got a bit of traffic ahead of them, and this might change the dynamics for the two ahead, because they will need to make them passing maneuver as quickly as they can to just avoid that whole circumstance of being held back and then opening up the opportunity for Vessels to make a move. Now this is going to have to be very clever here to make it work for him, but simultaneously also needs to be cautiously aware that he has to get past that back marker as quickly as possible. Back marker driving straight, needs to yield, opens the door up for Peterson, doesn't for Vessels though, follows the racing line. Vessels didn't manage to get past him when he needed to, therefore lost a bit of time. That was unfortunate, bad timing in general, but that is what traffic will do to you. Going a bit backwards, Nokia has dropped a bit, and I don't know what has happened to him. But he's now all the way to 7th position, behind Farmer. Esterhazen, however, has made it all the way back to 4th, so lots of things have quickly changed, and I somehow have missed what has occurred. So let's just go and see. Nokia car 28. Anything from a racing point of view, I can see what happened to car 28 in the historical log system. No, not even from a race control point of view, so I don't see any contact made with Nokia. He has dropped a bit. Esterhazen is making headway from where he started. In all fairness, he's up by 7th position, so is Farmer. So these two boys are really making up grid positions. Cordier is one of them as well, making up 10 positions from his starting point. So is Young, 11 positions up the grid from where he has started. So top 4 boys moving forward is Young, Cordier, Esterhazen, and then Farmer. Heineke, on the other hand, is now under pressure with Nokia, so this is going to be an interesting battle. Nokia was up in top 3 and somehow moved backwards. They had to have made a mistake. Heineke making no mess out of it. Going through the traffic. Kier following suit. That looks to be Esterhuizen. Esterhuizen made a mistake. Opens the door up for Palmer. Palmer makes another position. Esterhuizen is really struggling. I have to go back and have a look and see what has happened to this man. Let's just see. Hunky Dory coming down the corner. Ooh, loses the back end. Oh, makes a big spin though. Holds position. And then moves forward. So it doesn't look like he's got any damage though. But did lose position. And took himself a bit up. So feeling back into the groove again. Farmer now in 4th place. That is a big climb for him. Esterhuizen moving forward. Heineke on the other end now in 6th. Petersen and Wessels still battling it out. So I think everyone on the stream must be very happy. Nico now going go hardest. I'm assuming hardest is Boyser. So let me see, Nico, just for that shout out. I reckon that is where we are. Hardest Boyser, there we go. P3, getting a shout out by your YouTube follower, Nico. Thumbs up, man. 3rd place, moving forward. In all fairness, you are in a very comfortable position. He's got about a 10-second delta deficit between himself and Wessels, but at the same time a beautiful 8-second buffer between him and Farmer. So all he has to do is maintain his tires for the next 33 minutes, make a flawless pit stop, do not lose time, and then finish the race. That is a podium position heading his direction. No two ways about that. A bit of action in the front now. Wessel's a lot closer than what he was previously, and there's still more traffic. That is the probably Ike Sky in the Lexus. Wessel's slowly turning on the aggression mode. He now knows that he can probably beat him. Ooh, sunk into back markers. Fortunately, that's what you need to deal with when fighting for position. Getting off the racing line through the corners is the hardest thing to do. Lexus moves out. Ford lost a bit of time. Great driving though. Wessels will not be pleased with that, but there is not much you can do in circumstances like this. Can't forcefully take a driver out. You also need to manage the back markers as best you can from any point of position. So boys getting into the pit box at this stage is sort of where we get into the halfway mark. 30 minutes in, they'll start venturing into the pit box, do what is needed, get out and get it all done and sorted. If I go based on what we saw last week, I reckon the top 5 will wait as long as they can to go into that pit box, push as hard as they can now, ensure that the fuel runs down, and then go in, do their final splash and dash and finish it off. So everyone from about 12th position onwards has gone into the pit. Danoon on the other hand has not. He's there at the back of the pits. Robothon currently in. So, Heineke also decided to go in, so that changes my dynamic. Again, 30-minute mark, I reckon everyone's going to probably do it. Most of the individuals would do it. It's kind of where you set your focus point on. Put it in, 30 minutes of hard racing, get into the pit box, get your focus back on, and then of course, put it back out there. So, for everyone on the stream, it's going to give you a bit of heads up on racing dates and information. There we go. Couple of more races to go for this championship. Next up, we will of course have what I would say the Formula One race today. So for everyone watching Formula One, that's going to be an epic race to go out and watch. That's happening today. And then of course we got on the 4th of August, it will be the LNR MSA Cup 2 round 3 race at Hungaroring. And then we'll finish off the final race at Silverstone on the 18th of August. Championship leader thus far for after one race is Estrella. He's currently not on track, so he's going to lose a lot of points from the situation. I reckon boys like Esterhazen and all those are going to climb the ladder significantly this week. So battle is on. The objective here is to see who we can crown the first 2024 Logistical Nightmare Racing ACC Cup champion. Now again, that is an achievement of all achievements. We've got to give a big heads up and thanks to all the communities that has participated in making this happen throughout South Africa. This is my time to tell you boys thank you. Again, I can't mention you all, I wish I could. I am generally not that great in everything, but my days of remembering names is just going backwards. So you know who you are. I'm giving you a big thank you for everything you've done. And then of course for all the admin people and the sponsors, thank you for making this happen. And then of course a big thanks to MSA for allowing us to do this on such a local spectacular event. Everyone jumping into the pits. So everyone's doing quite the opposite of what I anticipated. I did say the top 7 boys would not go into the pits up until the last 10-15 minutes, and they have completely done the opposite. So top 4, as you saw, went into the pits there. Peterson, Vessels, Boyce and Fenter. McDonaldson chose to stay out. Esterhazen also in the pit. Unbelievable how that has changed. These guys have now done completely different to what I initially thought of. Now while they are in the pit, we'll just see if I can get some pit data of what has occurred. And to me, it looks like some of the boys have actually decided to change tires this round, which is strange but unusual. So time stop in pits so far is 32 seconds, 33 seconds by everyone. So I reckon everyone decided this week tire change is the best idea, because they will probably lose a lot of time if they do not do so. That is a change from last week. Very tire heavy track. Donaldson on the other end chose to continue. Now, of course, Donaldson did lose time after he made a slight contact with Paul Painter earlier on in the race. So he definitely or probably had to go out and change his approach of racing. Peterson on the other end has made a bit of a gap between himself and Vessel's in and out the pit, and that's all to do with pit stop time. This is where you got to get it right versus your refueling time, because that 4-second gap is all down to the fact that Peterson pit stopped for 32 seconds. Vessels, on the other hand, stopped for 36 seconds. That is where your 4-second deficit came down from. That few seconds extra is what Vessels now has to go back and make up on. And this is one of the key factors. I mean, I never used to believe it, but I reckon this is a prime example to showcase that pit stop time is crucial. You got to nail it to as best the final seconds. Everyone that practices racing time is all good and well, but if you don't get your pit stop down to the smallest margin of seconds, you will definitely lose a lot of time. Now Vessels has got to work 50 times harder to get back into the mix there. Paul Venter, on the other hand, he has met his rival again. So these two boys have gone down to the pit stop. Heineke, on the other hand, is slowly chasing him down. So a couple of things have changed here and there because of pit times. That's really what it does to you. Heineke pushing hard now. He's got the Aston Martin ahead of him. Esterhuizen, on the other hand, who has climbed the ladder, he is being chased down by Dean Norkier in car 28. So this is BMW versus Porsche, and then of course Paul Venter and Heineke is Aston versus Ferrari. Donaldson in the pit box at this moment. I don't know how long he's going to be there, but he's probably going to do what everyone else has done, and that is to change their tires. Carter, on the other hand, he's got a big battle with him. The Jager is all over the back of him, moving left, right as they entered into this tricky S section. Now this is speedy and fast. How Carter managed to keep the Jager behind him is mind-blowing, because I reckon all he did was slow him down going up the S's. But the Jager is on the hunt down to make a move. So is Ferrara and Taran. These boys have been battling it out since the beginning. It's been a close eye on this though. The Jager, left, right, middle, center. He's absolutely everywhere at this stage. Marginally very close there. Is he going to move on the inside? The Jager going defensive. He's going to try and stick it out on the outside. Now that's going to be quite tricky. Esterhuizen and Norkier are also fighting it out. Got two battles ongoing at this stage. I wish I have two screens so that I can showcase both of you, because that will just be phenomenal racing. But I love it when two cars are side by side. Ooh, that looked like the Jager lost it there for a second. Managed to keep it in position and still moving forward. Esterhuizen, yeah, he's got Norkier right behind him. On the chat, we got what? The F1 is paused currently. So Dylan going F1 is paused. That's fantastic. I wish I could do it. I'm not even anywhere near the TV at this moment to watch the F1. I'd love to watch it though, because I am a big fan of the boys currently sitting in P1 and P2 at the F1 side of it. So I'm the happy man this weekend. We'll see how that goes. But again, much appreciate the support. It is absolutely awesome for you to sit here and give your support. Loving it, absolutely loving it. So where are we? These two boys fighting it out. Norkier going left, right, middle and center. I reckon that Porsche is a bit slower than the BMW. This is bravest man goes first. Nokia will not get through there at all. Esterhuizen, being the clever man, covers the inside line, stops all options for Nokia. So frustration will sit in at some other point. That BMW is now, of course, at its optimum with new fresh rubber on himself, making everything he can. Now this is again not the only battle. We still got Paul Venter and Heineke battling it out. Ooh, Paul Venter going deep. Heineke got the door. He grabs the position with open arms. That has got to get a few people smiling. So that pushes Heineke up to P5, Paul Venter to P6. Beautiful drive. Slight error there by Venter. Too much pressure from Heineke. And now the table has turned. Nokia and Esterhuizen back into it again. This is probably where you most likely will get an opportunity to set the car up for another overtake. Nokia going very, very wide there. He's got to be careful, because if he continues to do that, at some point he will get a drive-through penalty just for track limits. Is he a lot closer? Not as close as he was on the previous lap. Esterhuizen taking the S's chicane. Ooh, makes a big fumble into the barrier. Oh, that is Esterhuizen, unfortunately, in the barriers. Nokia grabbing the opportunity. That's going to be lots of damage for him. Donaldson is the man, back onto him again. Takes the outside line. How much damage? Oh, bit contact here and there. Of course, that is because Esterhuizen's got just damage. He's unable to control his car, and that's just going to be very hard for him to do so. And depending on how badly he is damaged, will determine of how long he will decide to go out of it. Donaldson has moved up the ladder again. Nokia up the ladder. Esterhuizen, the only man, unfortunately, that had that battle, and an accident caused him to drop down the pillar. It's absolutely unfortunate. The Jager, he has managed to make a move on Carter. He's opened the gap between himself and Carter, so that is a good thing. Cordier says is in the pits. Yes, he is. Don't know why he is though, but nonetheless. Now the fight's not finished. Doesn't mean that Venter lost the position to Heineke, that Heineke can just keep it. That slight error by Venter has brought the game back into the mix. Now these two boys are slowly catching up on Farmer though, so they are about a 4-second delta to Farmer. Farmer on the other hand needs to speed it up a bit just to make sure that he maintains his race position. That might just be another battle luring its way through. Donaldson and Esterhuizen. Esterhuizen looks like he's back in the mix again. That unfortunate incident with him doesn't seem to have caused too much of an issue on his car. Donaldson probably not a happy chappy, because they did go side by side. A bit of bumping and barging between the two of them. I don't believe he's got that much damage on him though, because Donaldson had a slight incident earlier in the race. Almost had another one just now. but still managed to work his way up from where he was to where he is. So I reckon driver of the day would probably, in my book, be Donaldson. Again, Heineken and Farmer is also up there. They've done a lot of work to get up there, especially Farmer. I mean, Farmer, who's currently in 4th position, has gone 8 positions from where he started. That is all the way from 12 to 4th. That's a phenomenal drive for the race. 15 minutes still left to do. Anything can happen though, but a beautiful drive from Farmer. Donaldson, slight incident here and there. He did start in 7th. Had a bit of a bump with Paul Fenton. Now, I do believe that was accidental. It just looked like he lost control of the car coming out of the corner, which then unsettled the rear end. Paul Fenton slightly nudged him, and then he had to work his way back to where he is now. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at. If I have to choose, it's going to be hard, like in all fairness. Donaldson, Farmer, tough one. A very, very tough one. Heineken, on the other hand, was definitely up there as well. Because he has made quite a bit of moves throughout the race, past a few individuals. Now, some of them were relatively easy, but he has fought non-stop though. So 5th spot so far, a bit of traffic at the moment, but he has moving as best he can. Pace-wise, back to the front, your race leader, Peterson, who's still got a just under 3-second delta gap between himself and Vessels. So Vessels has managed to bring that 4-second delta down to just over 2 seconds, 2.5 at the present state. But I don't think he's got enough grunt to make it a victory in 13 minutes. Now, anything can happen, as we have seen. This race has been quite interesting throughout the day. Lots of traffic everywhere, but it is happening. Paul Venter and Heineken still fighting it out. Donaldson and Esterhuizen also battling it out. Back to Boyser, who's the most comfortable man on the track. 16-second delta between him and Vessels, but a good 10 seconds between him and Farmer. So still a comfy 3rd place for him, and he is, this is podium opportunity. Now, of course, from a point scoring position, last week Boyser got 4th place, this week 3rd place. So he's moving up the charts. Esterhuizen is struggling. Sean Stradom is not on track. So I am very curious to see how the points positions are going to change after this. 2 more races to go, so anything can happen. These boys should not give up. It's all about who's going to be the MSA Cup Championship for 2024 at LNR. And I reckon this is really an open game table. I think anyone can get it at this stage. Peterson's making big headways today, so he's going to grab a lot of points, and so is Vessels, so is Farmer. So for everyone, keep your eye out. Put your bets down. I still think it's too early to say. Round 3 might tell us a bit more. Round 3 might just tell us a bit more. Hungaroring will be the one. A very, very tricky track in general. One passing maneuver location. Everywhere else is like back nose to tail racing throughout the track. Unless you really make a mistake through the fast corners, which is very, very probable. Watkins Glen is all about keeping it clear. No drive-through penalties today. Beautiful clean racing today. So I have to admit, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, watching and spectating and commentating. An absolute blast. Back into the closest battle here. These two individuals, Esterhazy versus Donaldson. I think for the hell of it, it's probably a good time to see if we can get a bit of car sound scenarios into a car. And it's always best to get it around about the long straights when everything just sounds absolutely amazing. Let's start off with the race leader in the Nissan. Just tell me that doesn't sound beautiful. It is such a fabulous car. Again, I'm gonna just go crazy. Love this car. Beautiful choice by Peterson. Taking a legacy car and just putting it where it belongs. Back into the winning spot. Big thumbs up for this man doing it. Absolutely amazing. And finishing it off hopefully in style. Now the next car that I've actually that I haven't heard of or before was the Fords. I've never driven the Ford. I don't know how the Ford is. Times like these where I miss some racing, and I wish I could get back into the saddle again. Unfortunately, everything is so jumped up and busy everywhere else. Have a listen to the Ford. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Gotta admit, to me that's got a very similar sound to the BMW. Shockingly though. Like internally it just sounds a lot like the BMW M4 that's currently on track. However, externally it's got a bigger grunt from the exhaust system itself. And that's strange. Unusual though. Maybe it's just me, but it's like nose to brother. BMW and Ford, they are two different makes, similar sound, very close to one another. Shockingly quite strange. So just go back to a little mid-back racing near to the end. Bothon, he's currently trying to fend off Sky with the Lexus there for 18th position. Now, of course, this Watkins livery is my absolute favorite though, and as I say that, Bothon makes a tiny mistake, that is going to compromise him from a speed perspective coming up after the S's here. Will he go into the fence mode does so, forces Sky into going on the outside. Now that's not going to be a spot to make a move though. That Porsche on the other hand looks like a race leader going on the outskirts. Who is that? That's not Esterhazen. That's funny. No, Diarther? No. It's not Theron. Who is that? That is Hubert. Pretorius? That's also not Pretorius. So it's Van der Heuvel? No. De Jager? I'm a bit confused as to who that Porsche is. Can't really see. But Sky is really pushing way hard to make a move there. And seemingly somehow they have a Porsche behind them trying to get past the back. Sky trying on the outside, trying on the inside. They're both covering every point. Contact made by the two drivers itself. 3 side by side abreast. Oh, big accident there. I still need to figure out who that Porsche is. Because that Lexus is back into it, goes into the barriers, makes it through the first corner, and then comes back and fights it more. How do you do that? That's not Dubert. That's not Denon. It's not Theron. It's also not Diarther or Van der Heuvel. It can't be Esterhazen because he is battling it out. Was it Esterhazen? I'm gonna look at that race incident. Four and 3 and 7. That was Pretorius. Okay. I got a bit lost there because everything just was absolutely crazy. Okay, so back into the race. I am so sorry for that, but I needed to go and have a look and see what the hell was going on. So that whole incident was probably caused between Pretorius, Sky, and Robofa. Those two boys were mixing it up here and there, and somehow just caused a bit of collision because they were too optimistic to try and make moves. However, there was a driver that needed to pass them and somehow got a penalty. So Pretorius has gotten a penalty. I don't know how and why. Sky got a penalty as a bit of mix and match conversations there. I am not going to focus on that. Heineke on the other hand still trying to fend off Paul Painter. We're in the final few minutes of the race. Peterson is still the race leader. Vessels is in second. Boyson's a comfortable third. Farmer in fourth, who I still think is probably one of the drivers of the day. Heineke is definitely up there. So is Donaldson. And again, it's just making it harder for me to actually pick who is the better driver from a racing standpoint today. Top of the night, they definitely stand out for me this week at Watkins Glen. This is, of course, the second race of the MSA Cup Championship ACC, brought to you by LNR.
Final lap now.
Final lap for everyone. Have a look, see. So this is one more lap. Peterson is up there. Vessel's doing the final one. Another Porsche losing its way. Paul Fenter on the other end is battling it out. He needs to and wants to have that 5th place position. Heineke says no ways, that is not going to happen at all. They are not the only battle on track. We still have a fight going on here between Carter and Ferrara. Now, of course, I haven't spoken a lot about the mid-pack at the moment, but Ferrara driving the Ford, trying to get past the Carter there. He's got a bit of a battle there. Now, of course, we have Donaldson sitting there behind the 2 drivers. He wants to get a move on and simultaneously not impede on their battles, but he wants to move forward. Peterson in the final few corners. Heineke still managing to keep that Aston Martin behind him. Doing a fantastic job though, even with the traffic here and there, a couple of Porsches everywhere else, but the man is doing a phenomenal drive. Final few corners for Peterson. He's got one more turn to do. This is a victory day for the Nissan. Oh, excuse me. Wonderful drive by this man. Threw it out the way. I absolutely loved it, and so capitalized on Vessels there in 2nd place. Then of course we will have a Boyce who just did what needed to be done on the day, taking the final podium position in 3rd spot. Fantastic drive by him, all ways for him, everything going that side and that direction. And then of course another few seconds thereafter we have a Farmer in 4th, Heineke breaking it down in 5th position, Paul Fenter in 6th, and then Norkia in 7th, followed by McDonaldson, who had a challenging drive today, in 8th, Wall in 9th, and then of course Young closing it off in the top 10. Couple of boys throwing a few donuts here and there. I'm going to see if I can spot take that. Well done to everyone that had this race. Absolutely fantastic. This was round 2 of the LNR MSA Cup Championship. In 2 weeks time we will see you at Hungaroring. So everyone on the stream, thank you, appreciate the love and support. Catch you in 2 weeks time. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon. From my end, good night, God bless, goodbye.